I made this 3-gang special potentiometer, and you may want to make one as well. You could have a multi-ganged potentiometer with different resistances or different curves. So I have an idea, but you may wonder why. This is a simple power supply which provides a settable dual voltage and a settable 5 and 3.3 volt output. And it is made with 3 blocks that are pretty similar with each other. This one is one of the 3 blocks, and without going too much into details, this part is the current limiter that is controlled with this potentiometer. Essentially, by changing the resistance across these 2 points, we change the level of the intervention of the current limiter. And because I want to play with a single knob to control the current limit of all the outputs, I would need a triple stage potentiometer ganged together. Finding a 3-gang potentiometer, linear potentiometer, is pretty hard because, as you can see here, set apart the price, there is just no stock. And even looking at another supplier, they have pieces part in stock, and the price is even decent, but they don't have the value that I need. But wait a minute, maybe I can replace the potentiometers with some kind of voltage controlled resistors and control them with a single potentiometer, right? So here I have a bunch of 4N35 optoinsulators, and I've tried a few of them. I selected them to be as much as possible closer together as a characteristic, and but they still have some differences, and I would need some more circuitry to adjust those differences, and that is a problem because I don't have much space on the board. Goodbye for N35. So I've made some experiments with the JFETs. Here I have some old PF245, but yeah, again, not a satisfying result. Oh, and I also thought to make a special optoresistor using these photoresistors coupled with LED like this. So I tested them too, but yeah, here the tolerance is even worse than with the optoinsulators. So yeah, there is no way this would work. I'm sorry, optoresistors. Sometimes a mechanical solution is best. So my idea is to make a multi-ganged potentiometer from scratch. I use one of these 2 old potentiometers, very cheap. For this job I purchased these trimmers that have this hole, and they are cheap and they cost just 5 cents each. And this 6mm aluminum rod, which is about 1/4 of an inch. So let's get started. First I try to open this potentiometer, and it should be relatively easy by raising these flaps here. So here we go. This is the potentiometer, the inside of the potentiometer. Let's see if it goes off. Nope. All right, here we have the wiper and its holder, the resistor, and it is visible that is pretty worn. Now this is the part we are interested in, but it doesn't come off here. Let's see if... oh yeah, it is about 5mm, about 12mm. So we have to make this 12mm plus this the thickness of these 3 pieces together, 19mm, and something more just to have a little bit of margin. So let's redo this with this piece of rod. Now my lathe is not yet finished. Yes, I know, it's past a lot of time, but for this job maybe I can use it. Okay. Holy, it was almost finished and I hit the end of the shaft with the tool and it is broken. It is bent. Okay, don't ask me how, but I hit with the hammer to make it straight and it went straight at the first hit. Perfectly straight. Incredible. Okay, it went fairly decent. Now I have to reduce the remaining part to fit the hole of the trimmers. Okay, hey, I bent badly the piece. Aluminum tools, it's too soft and I bent it. So I changed it. So I have an idea, another way to do this. So I opened the other potentiometer, and this one has a shaft that is 6 millimeters, and the hole is 6 millimeters. So this doesn't need any work, and the only work to do is to reduce the part that must go inside this these trimmers. But this time I won't use the lathe, and I will make it simpler because I think many among you don't have the lathe. So with just a file, we will adjust the size to reduce this on 4 sides to form a sort of parallelogram here, and this can be accomplished with a file, and it should be a work of a few minutes, more or less. You can see the file removes the material pretty quickly. Because this is round, it is relatively easy to do this job correctly, because we see the amount of material that is removed. For example, here is removed a little bit too much, so we see this is a little bit larger than this part. So this part is lower than this part, and this helps. This is useful to make it part almost flat. All right, let's check the diameter. First part must be about 5 millimeters, because we have to reach 4. Yeah, 5.5. Another bit. Now I turn the part upside down this way. Let's put this okay, and now let's work on the other side. You must make sure that the file is clean it frequently, because otherwise this will scratch the surface. Now the part is the correct size from here to here. It is 4 millimeters, and now we have to work on these 2 sides. be symmetric, make sure to remove half of the size from this part, so you are sure that it is centered. Here we go, the part is finished, and it fits perfectly inside, and it is finally centered. Now it's time to bring the parts together, so with a little bit of epoxy glue. Take care to put these contacts on the opposite side of this part, so it won't be shorted. A bit of glue here and here, then and oops, the shaft, and then this part here, like that, whoop, and then the same thing, this one, the board at the edge, like that, maybe even here, just to the edge. Going to okay, let's put this way. Make sure it is well aligned. All right, and now we just wait for the glue to set. And here we have the potentiometer, but still the shaft can be extracted, so we have to do something about it. So the idea is to put a bit of epoxy glue on top of the shaft, so it stops the shaft from coming off. But before sealing the shaft, I put a little bit of grease on the shaft, so it reduces the friction. This is enough. Let's mix really well, and just put a drop of glue here on top. Care must be taken to avoid to make the glue fall where the potentiometer is supposed to turn around, because in that case would stop turning. This is what I'm risking now. So let's clean up a little bit. And here we go, we have the finished potentiometer ready to install on our circuit, and the shaft doesn't come off anymore, and it turns freely. Perfect. This potentiometer will serve the benchtop power supply, for which I have also designed a nice PCB. It is a very simple but useful circuit that will provide a selectable dual voltage 12 or 15 volts and an additional selectable 3.3 or 5 volt with an adjustable current limit up to 1.5 amps. And if you are interested in understanding how the circuit works, let me know in the comments down below. I will make a video specifically for that topic. But for now, that's all, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!